Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. So we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Russ Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our video. We're down to 4 teams in the NFL. It's the AFC Championship game between the Kansas City Chiefs going on the road to face the Baltimore Ravens at 3 o'clock p.m. on CBS. And we've got the NFC Championship game with the Detroit Lions traveling to the San Francisco 49ers at 6:30 p.m. on Fox. Both games are on Sunday. These 4 teams are only 2 wins away from winning a Super Bowl, and especially a franchise like the Detroit Lions, they really want to get a Super Bowl win because their franchise has been destitute for so long. They've struggled just to even make the playoffs. Getting a Super Bowl win will be huge for that organization. San Francisco and Kansas City, they've had a lot more success lately, especially Kansas City. They've essentially owned the NFL playoffs recently, with Patrick Mahomes winning 2 Super Bowls, and they've taken over the role of the New England Patriots under Tom Brady as the team to beat in the NFL. And it's going to be really interesting with Baltimore as well. Lamar Jackson playing some of the best football of his career, probably going to win MVP. Is it their year? And I did a poll last week asking who people thought was going to win the Super Bowl this year, and 44% of people picked the Ravens, and the Lions had the second best odds, surprisingly, then the 49ers, then the Chiefs. But you can't count out Kansas City, especially with Patrick Mahomes' ability to win, even as an underdog so far in the playoffs, knocking off the Bills. But I'm going to predict who I believe is going to win the AFC and NFC championship game, so let's get into it. To start out on Sunday afternoon, you've got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the Baltimore Ravens, and Patrick Mahomes was able to knock off Josh Allen last week, even though some people did think that Josh Allen and the Bills, especially being at home, had the advantage this time. But the Kansas City Chiefs, despite all the issues that they've had this season, Patrick Mahomes found a way. The defense did enough at the end of the game to get stops, and they were able to knock off the Bills. But now they're having to go on the road to face a Baltimore team that has been playing some of the best football of any team in the NFL this season. When they destroyed the San Francisco 49ers and they forced Brock Purdy into 4 interceptions, that was very impressive, and that made a lot of people believe in the Ravens and projected them as possibly the favorite to win the Super Bowl this season. And the odds only have the Ravens favored by 3.5, which is kind of shocking. You probably would have thought that they'd have been favored by a little bit more, but it is the Chiefs, and the stigma that holds with them having won 2 Super Bowls in the past few seasons, it does give a lot of people belief that the Chiefs can upset the Baltimore Ravens. And injuries are going to play a role in this game as well, because of the fact that there are several guys banged up for both of these teams. But the Ravens, it looks like they're getting tight end Mark Andrews back. That will be a huge returnee for the Ravens. He has not played in a while. The Chiefs, Isaiah Pacheco is a big name to watch. He is nursing multiple injuries, but it looks like he might try to play, but how effective he will be will have to be determined. But definitely both of these teams are banged up somewhat. But if Kansas City is going to go on the road and win at Baltimore like they did against the Bills, it's going to be because the Chiefs have been here before. They know what to expect. Andy Reid is a great coach, and Patrick Mahomes does not turn the ball over like he did not against the Buffalo Bills. He played very well in that game. They need a lot out of the run game like they had last week. Isaiah Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he has to have a good game, and that defense has to step up and force Lamar Jackson to make poor throws, and they can't allow him to run all over the field, because when Lamar Jackson uses his leg, kind of like Josh Allen does with the Bills, it makes that offense a whole lot more dynamic. The Ravens getting Mark Andrews back is huge, and the Ravens also have a really good defense, and that home crowd is going to play a big factor as well. I do not like betting against Patrick Mahomes because I did pick the Bills last week, and that ended up being a bad decision because Patrick Mahomes found a way to win on the road. But I am going to go with the Baltimore Ravens to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs 27-24. I do believe that Lamar Jackson is playing the best football of his career, and I know that a lot of people do believe that the Chiefs will win because Patrick Mahomes has proven that he can win these type of games. But the Ravens are a very good team. They're better than the Bills, and I believe that they're going to squeak out a win over Patrick Mahomes. The Ravens looked very good last week against the Houston Texans as well in the second half. I think they might have some struggles at first, but they're going to find a way to pull out a win over the Chiefs in the fourth quarter, and that will propel the Baltimore Ravens into Super Bowl LVIII. And then in the other game, you got the Detroit Lions traveling on the road to the San Francisco 49ers. The Detroit Lions, they won their first playoff game this season since 1992. Very impressive for the Detroit Lions organization. Jared Goff has been a great leader for Detroit. A lot of people did not believe that when he got traded from the Los Angeles Rams that he was going to go out there and have success with Detroit. A lot of people thought that he was going to be out of the league in a few seasons, but Dan Campbell became the head coach when Jared Goff got traded, and they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. They got David Montgomery. They drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown. They did a great job building up that offense, and their defense is very stout as well. Detroit has won 2 playoff games to get here. It is awesome seeing the turnaround for the Lions, but they're going on the road to face San Francisco, who did struggle last week against the Green Bay Packers. They did not play well in that game, but Brock Purdy found a way to lead a game-winning drive at the end of the game. That's all that matters. Survive and advance. It does not matter how ugly it looks. You just got to win to stay in the playoffs, and that's what the 49ers did. But if San Francisco's going to win this game, they have to play better than they did against the Green Bay Packers, or the Detroit Lions will more than likely beat them, because Detroit, they have been playing very well in the playoffs this season. They were able to knock off the Tampa Bay Bucks last week, I would say in fairly convincing fashion. I know they only won that game by 1 score, but they were in control of that game, whereas San Francisco had to squeak out that win. And San Francisco is also favored by 7 points, so a lot of people do believe that the 49ers have a better chance to win than the Baltimore Ravens do against the Kansas City Chiefs. Deebo Samuel is a name to watch. He got hurt in the Green Bay Packer game, which I think made it where Green Bay had a better shot to win that game, because then Brock Purdy had to rely more on Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey. When you have Deebo Samuel as well out there in that offense, it is a very dangerous offense. Detroit has a couple of injuries to monitor as well, so we'll have to see if those guys play. But I do think that this is going to be a very close game. I've been high on Detroit all season. I've picked them to win most of their games this year. Even the games that they did not win, I think I only picked against them twice. So I really don't want to do it. Detroit's been playing so well, and they've proven time and time again that the stigma that they could not win in the playoffs, it's over. This is a team that is for real. Dan Campbell has gotten this team over the hump, and they are 1 game away from the Super Bowl. But I think this is where their incredible journey is going to end. I think San Francisco being at home, Deebo Samuel looks like he is going to play. It's going to help out their offense big time. Brock Purdy's going to play better than he did last week against the Green Bay Packers, and that defense is going to step up better than it did last week. I believe that the 49ers will knock off the Detroit Lions 28-24 for the 49ers to move on to Super Bowl LVIII to face the Baltimore Ravens. But these 2 games should be fantastic on Sunday. I believe the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game should be both close games. Both games could go down to the wire and be instant classics. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about which game you're looking forward to the most, and which 2 teams you think will win the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game, and what you think about my picks for both of these conference championship games in the NFL playoffs. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I will see you next time.